Is flexibility a bad word today?
No, in fact, flexibility it should be a good word, and I hope it is good with everyone. It's definitely a word that I like about labor markets, because countries that have flexible labor markets usually have higher levels of employment. Now, I should add that at the same time as flexibility, you need to have some security for worker incomes, but the security should be provided by the government through a well-structured social security system, not by the employer.
I think we are mostly talking about flexibility in the labor market, and we are talking about conditions of the labor market such that they can be employment growth.
We have two things going on in Europe right now. There's the problem, not just in Europe, but elsewhere too, there's the problem of the recession that causes more people to get unemployed. And at the same time, Europe has long-lasting problems of relatively high structural unemployment, which meaning that even without the recession, unemployment in many European countries is high.
I think I'm the agent provocateur, because flexible labour markets are not good for the economy, but they're certainly not good for working people. So I'll be looking at the current economic context, the absolute dramatic impact of austerity, and the flexibility of the labour market that's been driven through those policies, and then a more positive outlook around where we should be putting our energies into the creation of jobs in what is now a bitter crisis of unemployment.
I understand the ideological reluctance to embrace flexicurity. I don't understand the refusal to engage in a discussion to table the matter. I can understand that a concept in and by itself will be scary and concerning, and this I agree. But the bigger issue is that if you keep on ignoring reality, there's a point in time where it will come back to haunt you in a much more painful way. And I'm trying to prevent that from happening.
I remember the pre-crisis times. We were discussing about flexibility, about the advantages of flexibility, about the need to combine flexibility with security. But really, if we look at the structural reforms in the labor market that were developed during the pre-crisis years, were not very intense. There were some very good reforms, for instance the German one, that now is giving them very good results. But the incentives for structural reforms were very low at that time, unfortunately.
I was quite impressed by, I would say, the community of thoughts between our speakers, and also the way they discussed together with this discussion, this talk between Marchione and Bureau, very, very dynamically handled. It was a good night, I think, a good evening, not a night. The next president will be Christian Jourquin, and in 3 years' time, Marc Henneberg. I wish them all the best, and I think I am so thankful to the team of Solvay Alumni board that I cannot but just say thank you to all those guys and girls who helped a lot in those 7.5 years.
Mr. Stammer, thank you very much.
Not at all.